Hi everybody, welcome to the Flower of the Month SVG version of our inspiration for this particular flower of the month, which is tulip. And they are adorable. They are beautiful, beautiful florals. Now, if you drop onto the website, you will also find that you can get multiple colourways. And obviously, when you're buying the flower of the month, you've got different various bundles available, one of which is being able to have the Minecraft Studio. Now, with my project, I've actually printed and made myself some backgrounds, some backing papers. This is just a lilac that I colour picked, and then I actually created myself a textured background by blowing the whole petal up and just sectioning off and cropping just a small area. So I've actually made myself two fabulous backgrounds using the Minecraft Studio. So that's where I started with this particular journey. And then we've gone on to actually using the flowers themselves. Now, they are just stunning. You get the large, you get the small, and you also get the Build a Bouquet version. Now, as always with our scan and cut versions, our SVGs, there are several different sizes available to you as well, and they're there for everybody. They'll be the same whether you are CM users or the SDX. So depending on the die itself, you will either get original, and if it's the original, there'll be nothing, no size on it, okay? If it's then small, it will tell you small, and then there is large. So you'll get those three sizes. Always, always you'll get the original. Then it will either be original, large and extra large. So you're always going to get three variations. But the fabulous thing about that is not only do you get those three variations on size, you also get the decoupage elements that go with each of those sizes. And in addition to that, you're going to get the reverse reflections too, and the decoupage. So there's a whole plethora of different things that you can do with that, because in retrospect, when you think about it, if we've given you large, regular and small, we've actually given you the foreground, the midground and the background all together to create projects with, which is brilliant. So when you start printing out your reflections, which is the elements that you're going to cut, so these are the actual pieces, the tulips. So here I have my little go-to bag, because this is my project. You actually cut them out, print them on a sheet like this, and then your image ends up being cut out, okay? So that's what we're aiming for. Now, to get to that, we have to print out the actual piece, the artwork itself, or the reflection. Now, with the SVG files, you're going to find that they're a little bit different, okay? You've got this fabulous black rectangle around all of the pieces. Now, that's there for a specific reason. The lovely Mel came up with this idea. So I know sometimes I'll be repeating myself, and a lot of you will have already seen this, but there's an awful lot of you new users out there joining us every day. So I'm going to quickly go over how to group and actually scan in and cut out your reflection, because I think it's really important to know. On the base, on here, there's always all the information you need to know about what's happening on here and how this collaborates with what's gone onto your USB. We've got Flower of the Month Tulip, Build a Bouquet. It is the Tulip Small, so we've gone with the small sizes on this one. And this is the Decoupage Reversed Reflection. So there's a lot going on here, a lot of information. So first of all, what we actually need to do is sit our reflection, our printed image, down onto our mat. Now, goes to the left-hand top corner like so. And I'm just burnishing it down. Okay, so that is now stuck to my mat. Let's go to the machine and we'll go through how to find your imagery. So I'm in, let's go back just one. There's my Flower of the Month Tulip. Open it up. When it opens up, we always have extra folders. So we've got Build a Bouquet, Over the Edge, and the working files. Now, the working files are the colourways, etc. So you can only access this particular thing on your laptop or your PC. Build a Bouquet and Over the Edge. Okay, so let's click on here. We have our detail cuts, so it breaks it down, our matte cuts, and then our reflection cuts. Detail cuts look like they are a die, and these are fabulous for using as a drawing element. Matte cuts is exactly that. It's the back layer, matte piece to the die, and then the reflections is what we're wanting to find, okay? But we actually need the build a bouquet. So go back one. Want build a bouquet, reflections, and then small. Again, broken down again, we've got reflections. DEC means decoupage. Now, when you click on that, the whole word will become relevant on this side. And this is just your standard reflection. So it would be the full body of the image. So here you can see all these pieces, okay? And it does say on the side, reflection, decoupage cut, SVG. Press OK. By pressing OK, we've now set that onto a working mat. So that is now on that grid system that actually matches the mat that you've placed your reflection onto. At this point, we need to go into Edit. We're going to multiple select everything on the mat. Now you can see all of those pieces are all single SVG files. Can you imagine trying to line those up over all of those elements to cut it out? So this is where that super rectangle comes into its very own. So I'm going to press OK. We go back into Object Edit, and here we press Group. Now we've only got one red SVG cut. Okay, that's all we can see. It's one piece. It reads that as one file, which is exactly what we need. All the other SVG pieces are still there. We've not got rid of anything. So let's take the front of the machine down, loading the mat up to the rollers, press Load Mat. And press OK, go all the way through to Scan, press Start. Scan that image in, and what it's doing, it's having a look at what is actually on the mat. Now the scanner on the SDX 1200 that I'm using now, it's got a 300 dpi scanner. That is a particularly really good scanner, okay? Now if I move that around, you can see this is my SVG file, and that is the image on my mat, okay? SVG file, image. Now what we're going to attempt to do is align the red box over the black box. So let's zoom in because we can't quite see properly on there. So we're going to Edit, use my magnifying glass, and I'm going to go again. So that's 200%. But if you press that one more time, that's now 400%. And we can really see that we need to move that a little bit because it's not quite over the top there. I'm a bit happier with that. But also you can now see these files aren't meeting up. They're not in the right place because this is the reverse reflection. So I'm going to press OK. I'm happy that I've got that lined up where it needs to be. Back into Object Edit, and here, this flip, if you keep an eye on what happens on the screen, they are all lined up where they need to be. So all I need to do now is press OK, keep going, press cut and send that off cutting. But I've actually got all the things cut that I need, okay? So I'm going to unload my mat. You don't want to watch the machine cutting loads of stuff. Now, in the end, I've got pieces ready and I've put an R on my bag. They're my reversed reflection ones. Because I've done it before where I've tried to put the reverse reflection onto not a reverse reflection and it doesn't look good. So I've got my elements cut out, ready and raring to go. But what I've actually done, now when we talk about having an over the edge card, I've made myself a gatefold because one of the fabulous things is that having a gatefold or creating a gatefold is the fact that we've got reverse reflection. So let's say I've got my set of dies. That is the reversed actually at the moment. But I cut it out and I can only have it like that. I can't then go like that and put it on this side because it won't fit, okay? You can only have it one way. So having the reverse reflections on the scan and cut is phenomenal because it gives you that extra something that you can work with. So to be able to do that, to have an over the edge, we need to work with the mat cuts. Now I've got my back pieces, I've got that lovely paper already cut out. Remember, I made my paper on the Minecraft Studio. So let's quickly go to the machine and I'll show you how to weld and make an over the edge. Press home, okay, retrieve data, USB, flower of the month tulip. And again, we're working with the large, okay, so I've gone with the bigger pieces. Over the edge tulip, and I need that mat cut, and I'm going to lead the large mat. Okay, so set that onto my mat. There we go, fabulous, just what I needed. I'm also going to add one of the patterns that are within the machine. So I'm going to basic shapes. I'm going to click on that square and press set. I'm going to sit them over this way. Okay, so I've got my square on one side and there is my mat layer for my tulip. But obviously, clearly these aren't the same size. So let's go into edit, object edit, and we'll go into resize. Now I already know that the tulip is 182 millimeters high. And we now need to change the rectangle or the square that we've brought on into a rectangle to meet and match that same height. So we're going to click onto that square, unlock the aspect ratio. In other words, we're going to change the height and not the width. And we're going to press plus until we get 182. Oh. So that now is the same height as my tulip, okay? And I do want to make it not quite so wide, okay? So I'm just going to take it down a little bit. Oops. Made a mistake. I didn't unlock the aspect ratio because as soon as you've touched it, that's it. It doesn't work. So click it again. I need that to be 182. So let's take that back to 182 and take the width down a little bit. About 90, I'm going to say. Just for this so I can show you purposes of showing you. I'm going to press OK. Now what we need to do is overlap these two pieces because we're creating that over the edge. Okay. First of all, before I do anything else, I want to flip this because I'm working as a reverse reflection. Flip. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Flip. There we go. I'm going to bring them together. I'm going to press OK. Multiple select. Everything on the mat, press OK, alignment function, I want everything to the bottom. I now know they're perfectly aligned. Press OK. I'm going to work with just the rectangle first. I'm going to bring that over close to the tulip, and then I'm going to go to the tulip and take that over. And I know after working with it and doing one already, I need to take it over just that little bit more, because it doesn't like this edge not showing, it doesn't like that little bit. So now we've got them overlapped, multiple select, everything on the mat, press OK, object edit, and we're now going to weld instead of group, okay? Now if it doesn't like it and it needs to overlap a little bit more, it will say that it wants you to do that. There we have our welded outline. Press OK. Now that is one side of my gatefold. Now I need two of these for a gatefold. Press 2. OK. Now I've got two of these, but that's not a gatefold if they're both going in the same direction. So flip. And I've now got two pieces that are a gatefold. One is the original and one is now the reverse reflection. So I've then gone ahead and cut those out of white cardstock. I have also cut a block of a back piece to my card that is 165 millimeters wide by 182 high. Okay, so you just need a square and then we can start building. So I have my mat layers. Okay, then I did, sorry, just one more thing. Sorry. I needed to have an inward offset line to create a mat layer, which is exactly what I've done. So here, that's what we touch. This creates your offset, inward, outward offset line. I'm going to click on that. and I need to create an inward one, I need to take it minus 3.5. If you look on the screen, there's a blurred line occurring here. Okay, so I'm going to press OK. Once you've cut your white cuts out, then go back and add in your matte layer. And if I then go OK and flick between the two, one's smaller, one's bigger. So I'm going to delete that so it doesn't confuse us. We've got the larger one, the smaller one. Larger one. I'm going to delete the larger one, press OK. I then need two of those, and you cut those out of your colourway, okay? So that is what then creates the matte layer that's going to sit beautifully on here like so. So now we can put our card together. So a little bit of glue. That is now sitting on that side. Oops. Like so. And then the same on this side. And remember that these actual cards, the papers, the backing papers of what I've created to match my lovely tulip. So I know the colours, all the lilacs, the hues, the actual texture in the background matches my tulip perfectly. Okay. So that is going on there. I have two pieces of ribbon. One that goes on there like so. Whoops, steady. We've actually got a new piece of equipment in the studio with me at the moment. Don't know if you can all tell what it is. But it's our new glass mat. Isn't it phenomenal? And it's all nice, shiny and clean. And I'm trying so hard not to get glue or anything on it because it's brand new. And it is coming to you shortly. So you will get, there'll be a big reveal and everything. But we've got a little sneaky peek by having it with us in the studio, which is a little bit naughty, I suppose. But I know, I'm sure you're going to forgive us. So I'm just cutting a couple of pieces of ribbon that are now going to go down each side. And doing something like this uses some of the stash that we've got. I know, because all of you crafters out there, I know you've only got little ribbon stashes and tiny button stashes, etc. So I'm sure you can pop a couple of ribbons on this particular one. So I'm going to put a little bit of ribbon down the middle of that one. Like so. Same again. Trying really hard not to get it on the mat. It's not. I know that's what the mat is there for, but because it's a lovely new brand spanking new mat, I don't want to be the one that actually gets told off and put something on it. Wipe my fingers on my apron. Now those matte layers are on there, and I've already done my score line on the back. That's not my scissors. My tweezers. That's what I want. So I've done a score line for my little gatefolds. Oh, I've been working with this tape all day, and as soon as you want to do something different with it, there we go. So I've taken those off. I'm going to put my matte layer on here. So again, always check when you're putting your matte layer on that you've got it the right way up, especially when you've got something that isn't quite a square, because it's really easy to place it on and find out that you've put it on the wrong way. So this one, this fold is going on this edge like that. Make sure I've got it lined up. It wasn't quite lined up quite enough. There we go. Oh, I see why. the tape, the carrier's in the way. There we go. So that's that side. Make sure I've got it the right way up, because again, Australian cards are really good, but not when you want them as a demo. I'm going to flip that round. Because I'm right-handed, it's far easier for me to work this way. There we go. So that's the basics of our gatefold. And now the reversed and non-reverse reflections, if I've done the maths correctly, should both fit. One's that side and one will fit that side, which it does. So let's pop on a little bit of ribbon to finish this off. And then you could go to town with lots of decoupage and add in lots of different elements. You could even, in my craft studio, have brought in one of the beautiful tulips and have it as your paper in the background, peeping through, especially when you're working and you've got something like this. You could have had a beautiful tulip head printed on your paper. But let's go for popping our tulips in place like this. Tulip number 1. Tulip number 2. And then also, as always, we have our decoupage pieces. You can also snip into all your elements, add far more leaves and go really ornate with all of this. That's one. Where's the second one? Is that way? Yes, it is. So a little bit of decoupage on both of these. Look at that. That is all made because we've got the ability of welding and creating that over the edge, and also with the ability of having the reverse reflection. So we've got a fabulous gatefold. You could really go to town on this, put lots of your other decoupage and things on there, but that's how you create a gatefold using our lovely over the edge flower of the month SVG files. So thank you very much for joining me. Remember to hit like, share and give us a thumbs up, and we'll also see you again very, very soon with the next flower of the month. Thank you very much. Bye.
If you would like to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notifications on all our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.